This video is going to be absolutely insane because I'm going to go through our entire DM framework that we are using in order to generate over 7 figures for our agency and for basically all of my businesses and for my clients' businesses as well. This is basically a copy-paste DM framework that has been working for me, that we have developed, that has been shown that it's bulletproof and it's booking 4 to 5 appointments for every single one of our clients, especially when we have setters trained on this DM framework, right? So what I want you to understand is many people are struggling with cold outreach, right? Many people are struggling with actually booking calls from DMs. It's pretty crazy for me because it's not that it doesn't work, right? I see these videos over and over again. Outreach and cold DMs do work. You just don't know how the fuck to do that, right? You just don't know how to do this, right? You just want to book a call immediately with someone. You just want to explain your offer and then maybe they buy, then maybe they book a call, right? You don't even know, you don't have a proper framework in place that actually increases curiosity, qualifies the prospect, pre-teases your solution, then actually books in a call. And by the time people book in a call, if you did the DM framework right and you have the right content assets in place, then you are going to be golden. The person is going to buy on the call, right? Basically, this is what DM sales is. I oftentimes have DM closes, right? And many of my clients have DM closes. And what I want you to understand is that the amount of DMs that I'm getting from my advertising campaigns at this time is insane. The amount of DMs I'm getting from a single YouTube video is insane. But if I don't have this framework here, right, I wouldn't have generated $25,000 in the past 7 days, right? I wouldn't have generated 7 figures, right, every single year, right? I wouldn't be able to do that because I don't have a framework that actually converts people, okay? So let's go through the entire thing. This video is not going to be about actually explaining everything because I'm going to give this entire sheet for you for free so you can copy paste, okay? So make sure that you send me a message on Instagram if you want this sheet and I'm going to send it over to you, okay? Make sure that you do that, all right? Or you can also comment under this video that you need that and I'm going to obviously give you my Instagram, right? So the most important thing is openers, okay? First of all, right, you need a good opener. What an opener is you put, set your foot in the door, okay? You don't need to do anything more than that with an opener, okay? Now, obviously, if your content is not the right one, if your content portfolio is not the right one, if your profile doesn't look good enough, then people are just not going to text back. You are not going to do wonders with an opener, okay? But if you do have that, then your opener, there's a huge difference between, hey, would you be interested in XYZ, right, in my offer? And there is a huge difference between actually raising curiosity and people seeing the opener and they are going to be like, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, okay, I want to hear more about that, right? This is the point of a good opener, okay? First of all, right, this opener, right? 3 to 5 qualified appointments, right? Are you interested how you're able to book 3 to 5 qualified appointments, right? Are you interested how my client made 24K, right? Why these are really good is because you always need to talk numbers, okay? So first of all, you need to understand what your actual target audience is interested in. If it's booking calls, if it's making more money, if it's signing up more clients, if it's arranging their content, right? You need to understand what your specific target audience is. I talk a lot about this, okay? You need to understand your ideal target audience. Obviously, this is the DM framework that I am using. I wouldn't exactly copy-paste everything. I would formulate it into my own niche, right? I would, if I was you, I would do that in your place, right? But at least you have the framework. You can definitely use it and you can formulate these messages, every single one of them at every stage of the DM framework, at every answer that the prospect gives you and every question that you want to ask from the prospect based on this, okay? So it's very important. You need to talk numbers, okay? So obviously, the 2 big things that people want to see is proof, right? Social proof of our clients are getting results, which is true, right? And then actually the offer of booking more appointments. So with these 2 openers, I'm raising curiosity and I have an extremely high amount of response rate, right? It's not rare that my response rate from cold outbound campaigns is over 30 to 40%, right? It's not rare, okay? Now probably you're getting 5%. The reason is because you don't have a good profile and you don't know how to open people, okay? So that's extremely important. The next one, it's explaining the offer, right? It's extremely important that you explain your offer, okay? Not in the beginning of the conversation, right? There is a certain stage of explaining a conversation, okay? Of explaining, doing a conversation with the prospect, right? First, you need to ask questions, but at a certain stage, you need to explain your offer. If your offer seems dull, if your offer is not the right one, if you can't explain it in an exciting way, you're going to bleed out. So make sure that you utilize this, okay? Make sure that you definitely utilize these things, okay? This is what I used for my agency before that I scaled to 7 figures, okay? Basically, then questions from the prospects. It's extremely important that you ask the right questions. Asking questions from prospects is the most important things, okay? There are a number of questions here that you can ask and you can formulate to your own niche. It's extremely important. What your goal is, first of all, with the prospect, what your goal is not even booking a call in the beginning. Your goal from a prospect is that you understand if they are financially qualified and if they have the pain that you can solve, right? Because without that, who cares? You don't even need to book a call, right? And that's where people bleed out. That's why you keep jumping on calls where people don't have the money that they can spend on you, right? Like, it doesn't matter to do a call if people don't even have the money to pay you, because you're not asking these questions, right? You don't know their goals, okay? Also, it's extremely important that you understand their goals, their pain, their obstacles, even before explaining your offer, because if you don't know what their problems are, you're just going to explain an offer that they don't even need, okay? So you need to understand what they need, and that's why it's extremely important that you ask these questions, okay? Obviously, questions from the prospect, right? Prospects are always going to ask you questions. Prospects are going to have objections in the DMs, right? Now, what I always say is that you don't handle objections in the DMs, okay? That's extremely important, but there is a certain type of thing where if prospects have some kind of concerns, you need to understand what they are going to ask, right? And you need to understand how to give answers to that, okay? These are all answers that have solved multiple objections in the DMs, and people actually end up booking a call, right? If you did everything right, you shouldn't have doubtful questions from prospects, but every now and then it's going to happen, and then if you answer these, they are going to be golden. By the way, I put it inside an entire chart in terms of what you should say at exact what points of a DM conversation, right? So it's not just that the random questions are there, but you also understand how to build up an entire DM conversation from beginning to the end to the point of actually booking a call, okay? Next, follow-ups, right? Follow-ups are extremely important, okay? So follow-ups is the most important thing inside a company, all right? A huge amount of my revenue is from follow-ups. I keep talking about the middle of the funnel of my content, right? You need to understand that without follow-ups, your company is going to bleed out because you're leaving money on the table. One of the #1 things that we need to teach our clients, and one of the #1 things that we train our setters on the team implement for our clients, is to keep following up, okay? Keep following up until the prospect books a call, blocks you, or literally tells you to fuck off, right? Basically, this is the idea. Obviously, don't harass anyone, right? But make sure that at least 3 to 4 times you follow up with the prospect, okay? These are some follow-up messages that you can do. Without following up, you're going to leave money on the table, right? People are not going to book a call just because you send them a message, okay? People are busy. What you need to imagine is that you text someone with the first message with an opener, and you need to imagine that someone is sitting on the toilet, scrolling Instagram, and then randomly gets a text from you. Of course, they are not going to book a call on the toilet, right? So they might get busy, they might, forget about you, they might actually feel like, I don't know, it's too much effort for me to actually answer this, okay? So you need to follow up, as well as one of the #1 principles of actually converting leads into booked appointments and qualifying appointments is this idea of the way of the pain. Unless you understand this, you're not going to understand why you need to follow up. You're not going to understand how to explain your offer. You're not going to understand how to ask questions. Okay, the way of the pain idea goes on the same basic principle, right? Your prospect is sitting on the toilet and you want to book a call with them. Okay, what are you going to do, right? If you ask questions that are too much open-ended, too open-ended questions, you don't suggest answers for the prospect, right? So the prospects can't give you straightforward answers, then it's too much effort for people to actually answer. If you ask an open-ended question or you don't follow up, you make it harder for the prospect to answer you, and you make it harder for the prospect to remember you or actually book a call, right? Because 99% of the case, if your offer is the right one and your content is the right one, it's not that the prospect wouldn't be interested in what you have to offer, as long as you know who to message, right? Obviously, that's a different topic, right? I'm going to do videos about that. Our setters that we implement for our clients know how to find your target audience, right? But as long as all of those are checked out, it's not even that they are not interested in your offer, it's just something happened. Something happened, man. Like people just don't text back. So you need to follow up. You need to make sure that when you ask questions, you make it easy for the prospect to answer, because if you don't do that, then your prospects won't answer, right? It could be that someone is super interested in your offer, but because you just simply ask complicated questions where they would need to text for hours and hours and hours, they just leave, they just don't text, okay? So obviously this is the entire framework of how to actually do follow-ups, okay? Keep in mind, this is a DM framework and this is a follow-up system that we have literally booked 4 to 5 calls every single day with, okay? Also for our clients. Our clients are using the absolute same, right? We just formulate it for their niche, okay? If you're a B2B agency, then it's absolutely golden for you, okay? So if you're running an SMMA or a B2B agency, sales coach, stuff like that, right? Like you're running Facebook ads, like any of these types of niches, you can almost literally copy-paste this framework, which is pretty insane, okay? So make sure that you check this out, okay? Send me a message on Instagram and I'm going to send it over to you. Check out our client results as well, okay? There is exact proof of how effective this actual DM framework is. And also the best is if you try it out for yourself, right? Just try it out for a week or two, okay? Try it out, see how it works, right? See how the prospects respond, and you're going to be golden, okay? So thank you very much. See you in the next video.